up, everybody? No, I'm not in the best of moods right now. I don't feel like pushing the damn transition out of the way.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it would help, but it didn't.
No, that was
a fun episode of Charged, huh? Or
yeah.
Ignited.
Ignition, yeah. we learned what one thing, kids, if you were watching Ignition tonight, we learned the definition of hypocrisy in the main event. Let's just leave it there. We learned the textbook definition of what it means to be a hypocrite. Right then and there. We'll get to what we mean a little bit more. If you watch the show, you know exactly what we're talking about right here, right now.
Ignited something, all right. Yeah, you're not wrong, John.
Oh,
yeah.
they sparked a few flames.
These boys know I hurried home from Coastal's League night to make it here. I drove maybe a little faster than I should because there's some things I want to discuss.
We're gonna get there.
Oh, we will. Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing on Twitch and YouTube this evening? Hope you all are having a fantastic night. Hope you all enjoyed Ignition just as much as we did.
It was a great show.
98% of it was great, and there was 2% of diarrhea. Of the verbal kind.
Oh,
good water tonight. That's really good water. See, here in Boston, we put H's where they're supposed to be R's. It's what we do.
The only thing we're missing right now in chat is Busta Guts, and everything's going to be all peachy.
Not now.
Yeah, not now.
Not now.
That's a first, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe later. Maybe later. You got me too good with it last night. That was the thing. You busted all my guts last night.
Oh, I clipped it too, by the way, so that'll be out there somewhere.
I appreciate it.
Oh, we'll talk about things that can be clipped later on as well.
Oh, yes.
And send to people.
Yes, the clip button will be very much handy since clips were very much talked about, which, by the way, I don't think I've ever seen those clips. Have you guys seen those clips?
Hey, by the way, though, hey, thanks for the views.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, seriously.
Thank you for the promotion, sir.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Dudes and Belts Reignited post show. As you can see, I'm also very flustered as well. We got a fantastic show to give to you guys tonight. A lot of passion on this show, guarantee you that. Before we get into this show, let's introduce the panel for tonight. On the left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the Beacon of the Week. I got it right this time. See, I made you crack. There you go. See?
All right. A little.
You can always count on Deathdrop to get some smiles here
bit.
on this show. The one and only Coastal Crusader.
What is good, everybody? We got a lot to talk about. I can't wait. Marky, it's going to be fun.
And on the right, with the so-called poor accent, he is our resident masshole himself, the one and only Marky Pins.
I got the most pisser accent on the East Coast, and if you want to bring it to me that you don't know what the letter H is in my name, tough cooks guy. That's the way it is. But as far as everything like that, we'll get to that. Tonight's Ignition, if you watched it up until the main event, was absolute fire. Yo, Sergey turning a brand new leaf in his life, albeit a little bit more painful in the self-indulgent category. But we're going to get to that right then and there. He gave Atiba all that he could handle this evening. We're going to go through that match very shortly.
Oh, we got Jed on YouTube. Can't wait to hear the dudes take on tonight. It's already started. It's almost like you guys knew what was going to happen tonight.
One thing we are really good. When people set things up, we are extremely good at knocking them over. We bowlers by trade. We bowlers by heart. That's how we all met.
Yeah.
Don't give us 10 pins to shoot at. We will knock them over.
Which, by the way, I think you have some news, Marky, about our Peak Awards. That I just found out today.
Yes. The Peak Awards have been shipped. They are Denver bound. To everybody in the RMP roster that won a Peak Award, congratulations. Josh Spicer, the first recipient of the Jeremy Wimmer Wicked Pisser Award. We honor you, we thank you, and we congratulate you for everything that you've done. Those awards should be there very, very soon, as fast as they can make it across the country. But yes, you will be receiving those soon. That's a token from the Dudes and Belts because we really do appreciate you and everything that you do. Not
And
Curtis.
some of them come with custom messages, don't they, Marky?
One does. One did. We'll wait for that one. We'll see if we'll see what transpires out of that little
I'm
mess.
gonna have you guys wait for this one until the time comes, because
yeah,
it's only appropriate.
We're learning how to do the thing.
Yeah, we do the thing quite well now.
We can do the thing.
All right, before we kick off this show, let's pretend like that hasn't happened for the next half hour or so.
Okay.
We got a good show to talk about tonight, and we're going to start it off on a little bit of a somber note. We do want to give our sincere condolences to Warren Cadis and, of course, reigning at the time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion Jay Briscoe. Both passed away a few days apart.
And also prayers to Jay's family. His daughter was hurt in that accident.
Yeah.
He had to go undergo surgery, so continue to pray for his family right now.
Yeah.
Through that time.
Condolences to Warren, Cadence, and Jay Briscoe's family during this tough time. Obviously, Rocky Mountain Pro had their 10-bell salute tonight to pay respects for those two. They will be missed in the wrestling community, and that's all I can really say here at this point. Just wish everybody the best in those families, and their legacy will live on.
It was a beautiful tribute. They did separate 10-bell salutes for each wrestler, and I thought that was very, very proper. They both deserve their own time and their own recognition, and we do extend our deepest condolences to both families in this really, really hard, terrible time.
Oh, we have Arias Grace, Bizquick, and Hazard in the YouTube chat.
I like pancakes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on both YouTube and Twitch tonight, and we have El Presidente. You might want to stick around for this, for the ending of the show.
Ooh.
Presidente Peligro in
Danger!
La Chat.
How's it going, everybody on YouTube?
I miss Danger every week.
This
I
is
do.
true.
I do.
Before we start, talking about everything, for everybody on YouTube, if you don't mind, please hitting that like button and leaving a comment either before or after the show, whatever
All
you
15
want.
or 20 of you, right?
I don't know. I don't know who's in there right now. I know there's at least 11 on YouTube.
It's a lot in the back, right?
Let's see 11 likes for the video. Obviously, leave a comment. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss another Dudes and Belts show or any Charge episodes or live Ignition shows in the future. You'll be given notifications every single time Rocky Mountain Pro goes live, which is now almost every day now. So make sure you guys have your notification bells on after you subscribe. And everybody on Twitch, as always, hit that subscribe button. You get those custom emotes, those badges, and the whole 9 yards. YouTube, you will be getting badges as well. There will be memberships that will be starting very soon. So we haven't forgot about your YouTube. We're currently working on that as we speak. And there will be some perks with that as well. And also on Twitch, we do have a brand new custom JC emote if you weren't in chat last night. Brand new on the Twitch channel for your reigning luck as champion.
There she is. We're going to put a few JCs right there in the chat on Twitch right now. Pretty pissing looking new emote, dude. I like it.
All right. Now that's all squared away, let's talk about Ignition, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, first matchup on the card tonight to open up this banger of a show. We had Bruce Wayans going up against Abatu in the hoss fight right out of the gate of the evening.
It really was an absolute hoss fight. We've seen what's going on with Bruce. He's definitely on a little bit of a schneid, but he keeps coming out and he keeps doing, he's the boss, man. He comes out with the bat and the flexing and talking to the kids and doing everything he can possibly do. Abatu comes out. Now, he's also kind of won a match here or two there. So we got two guys, one on the way up and one's kind of been on the way down. Abatu has been a totally different dude
Lucas?
since he started hooking up with your starting lineup with Kendrick and Briscoe. Even Teddy I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's learning too much from Teddy, but like Teddy's there. Maybe Teddy's learning from him. Haven't seen Coach in a little bit of a while. We hope he's okay. Everything's going good. But your starting lineup looking fire. And here we go, right out of the gate, one member of your starting lineup against Bruce Wayne's. And these two guys do not disappoint very early. This was a hoss fight, and these guys threw around each other's bodies like the hosses that they are. The lockup was so tight. Nobody could gain a quick advantage at all. No, the ref Benny was like almost got destroyed in the corner 2-3 times. These guys were just wrenching each other around the ring. Finally, Bruce does gain a short little advantage. He gets a Batu up for the body slam. We see the prettiest elbow in the business. You're not going to get him down for that. Little near fall, but it's just letting the Batu know that he's here. Well, then Batu gets up and lets Bruce know that he's here with a giant pump kick straight to the chest. And that takes Boss off his feet and the air out of his lungs real quick. And you saw the expression in Boss's face change once that pump kick kind of hit him. And then Batu goes to the tactics, man. We see him. I don't think your starting lineup has really gotten through to him yet, that he doesn't have to like choke guys out or use the ropes to choke or put the knee on the head. Batu's used to doing that stuff from the Legion back in the day. I think at some point they'll reach him that deeply, but right now they're more concerned with him going out there and getting the thing done, getting the win for the team, because it's all about the team on your starting lineup. We've seen that from the fellas every single week. But Batu does take charge, chokes Bruce on the ropes, actually bites Bruce on the side. We haven't seen him do that in a little bit of a while. But Bruce does end up kind of getting himself back out of it, regains a little advantage with a nice big overhead suplex. He ends up hitting the triple. He gets the double chops 3 times in the chest, the double palm strike, so if you will. Gets the triple going, goes for the second rope superstar elbow, nails it, near fall. Batu kicks out. Good back and forth, man, between these two giants in the squared circle. Bruce gets a little frustrated here, tries to go back up for the second one. And I think he was going for the double axe handle, Coastal. I don't think he was coming down with the elbow, the elbow this time. I think he was coming down with the double axe. But Batu really wasn't concerned with it. Catches him and sky-high power bombs him. Don't get me wrong, he didn't catch him out of midair. He landed, but he caught him in the choke slam, picked him up sky-high. And Batu gets a big, and I mean a boss-level win here against a guy like Bruce Wayne's. Look, we know Bruce has been struggling up there, Coastal, but this is big for Batu. 2 little things, bro. Batu on the way up, Bruce on the way down.
I think what concerns me more is Bruce in this aspect, because he has not been right since David Drake took his Rocky Mountain Pro title and really tormented him for weeks before that. Bruce is now questioning himself. He's not the boss we once knew and loved. The charisma is not there right now. It's kind of like he's lost. He doesn't know really what to do. A couple of important things here we need to do. We need to keep him away from Atiba, because Atiba is going to convince him about how to fix this, and it's going to go the wrong way, and Atiba is a confidant for him. Somebody he looks to at times for advice, for, what can I do better? And Atiba's going to lead him astray here. I think really... Yeah, there is a long history there, but I think really what would be best for Bruce now, and this is going to sound really weird, I think Bruce needs a break. I think Bruce may need to step away for a week, 2 weeks, just maybe go hit the gym, or maybe not. Maybe just go away for a couple weeks. Go on vacation with Mrs. Boss and the little bosses, and maybe go away and then come back, maybe fresh start. I don't know, Marky. I think that might be right now what is best for Bruce Wayne's. And Batu, this is a huge win for Batu. We have seen nothing but improvement week after week after week under your starting lineup's tutelage to get him there. I think this is what Batu needed out of Legion, just in a different way.
I agree. Yeah, we saw Ronan back in the day with the tough love and everything, and it really didn't strike the right chord that Ronan wanted, and now that's why there's no more Legion. We see Brew, we see Lilith, and we see Batu on his own, and all 3 of them have kind of walked their own path at this point, on very different paths than they were while they were in Legion. If Batu really straightens up and kind of goes straight with your starting lineup, that could be devastating for the rest of the roster at RMP. If they get him on the straight and narrow, and he sees that you're starting lineup like Kendrick and Briscoe, the real, like the OG tag team there, if they start having success, Batu's going to want that success too, and he gets a big win tonight. That's a lot of confidence in the big man's belly.
Points too.
Huh?
Points too.
And the points, right?
Yeah.
He's on the positive side for the first time, I believe, since he's come back. Abatu is. I mean, he's at 1 point. It's only one. It's a drive to 5. But he's on the positive. You can look at the glass half full here. You got to win against the final boss, the former champion, and now you are at the plus side of points.
And you never know those bounty matches. You never know what Danger Dean's going to put up in some of these matches on Ignition. You could have a 3-point match. All of a sudden, he wins that next week. That's 4, and he's 1 away.
Right. A lot of things shaking up for your starting lineup here pretty soon.
What do you think's going on in Brucey's head right now?
A lot, and that's why he needs to step away. He needs to go clear it. He needs to go to the boss cave and clear his boss brain.
I think there's a lot of questions wrapping around upstairs where the
doubt. There's a lot of doubt.
The first X amount of months of this year were fantastic for him. Couldn't lose, was on Ignition every week, and he was doing the thing. He was winning. He was giving guys a shot and having great matches and winning. Ever since he run into that roadblock, that absolute brick wall at 80 miles an hour that was David Drake, that is David Drake to this day, it hadn't been right. And it's very easy over the course of a period of time like this to start asking yourself these self-doubt questions that can throw you off in the middle of a crucial moment.
All right. Moving on. Next match up here on the docket. Very scary situation in this match, too, might I add. You had Brew going up one-on-one with Sky Hossman, your former Ignition champion.
Coming out with POS.
Yes.
So we've seen the graphics. We saw the other night on Charged that he is in the law office. We didn't know if that was a one-off because, he was having himself a couple little, elbow greasers, I believe, as they call them. They're exercising his elbow a little bit.
He was doing the 12-ounce curls.
That's what I was looking for, the 12-ounce curls. He really was. But tonight, I think it's confirmed. Sky Hossman is a member, or a client, should I say, of POS. And with POS on the outside, we don't like him, but we've seen how capable he is to change everything, momentum and impact like that at the drop of a hat. And it doesn't exactly happen tonight from POS. It happened, unfortunately, from Brewmark's own body. We've seen Brewmark. It's been documented that he's having some issues in his head, and he's come back, and we've seen him have success. But we've also seen him, the minute that he gets knocked around, that we've seen the poor boy collapse. We've seen him just be in the corner and just fall down, unfortunately. And this is what happens tonight. They start out really, really well with each other until they knock noggins. Sky's coming off the ropes, and I think that Brew was going for a big shoulder tackle, but Sky's head was just a little too close, and they bonked heads, and Brew was different for a minute. Sky ends up hitting a nice, beautiful hip toss neck breaker combo, which I've never seen, but which is kind of beautiful. It's very quick. He ends up laying that down. The more I watch, and this might be an unpopular opinion, you guys can correct me, the more I watch Sky Hossman, the more I'm impressed with Sky Hossman. We weren't privy enough to be here before and see him a long time ago when he was here. But now I'm becoming impressed with the young man. He's very, very good, very, very technical wrestler, but still takes the shortcuts on the side. And we've spoken about people like that. But that neck breaker coming down makes Brew woozy again. Brew does end up getting up, shakes it off, gives him the big Buffalo Slam, the world's strongest slam, straight down, gets a nice near fall out of it. Sky executes a gorgeous drop toe hold, and the drop toe knocks Brew right into the bottom turnbuckle. And that's one thing. You see Ref Eli go over and immediately check on Brew, and you see Brew kind of awake and conscious, but then Sky goes right to the boots, to the back of the head, back of the neck area, and lays the boots in there. Brewmark does end up kind of fighting his way up after a minute, shakes out the cobwebs again, goes on a wicked flurry, some huge shoulder tackles, big elbow directly to the top of the cranium, a la Dusty Rhodes back in the day. But he misses the big Buffalo run, ends up going into the other corner, dodges a nice big headbutt from Sky. But as he pushes Sky back, as he's going to set up for a second one, we see it again. And you don't want to see this in this day and age. We don't want to see this. Brew collapses to the mat yet again. Didn't get hit, just collapsed again. I really the kid needs more medical assistance, more training, more treatment, not training, more treatment. There's still something going on in there. Sky Horseman takes advantage, doesn't hit him again, just rolls him up and pins him, and the match is over. And Sky Horseman gets himself back into the positive category on the points. But Brewmark right now is the hell with the points for Brew. That's the last thing he's worried about right now. Brew is in a rough way right now in the ring. We saw him come back and have a lot of success, Coastal. Remember when he came back and he had that match with Damon Ace and he ripped it up in that match, and we've seen him have a few. We kind of thought he was good. This injury is nagging. It's coming back. He's got to see some more advice. You think he should maybe step away for a little while here?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking at this point. Now, let's face it, you and I have both, we've competed injured before. And
Yes.
when you're the first couple times you do it, your adrenaline's all jacked up and you don't notice it. And I think that's what it was in the Damon Ace match. There was a lot of adrenaline, a lot of passion, a lot of desire there to win. You can push through a lot of things with that amount of adrenaline in you. Now it's getting where it's every day, and he's taking more of a beating, and it's starting to compound. And I'm worried about Brew's health at this point. I think that Brew needs to step away. I think he needs to go see not the Rocky Mountain staff. Maybe he needs to go to, a big hospital and see a neurologist or something at this point, if he has not already. Because this is going he's not going to be successful because this is going to continue to happen. It's going to cost him matches because he can't control it. He gets hit and he's going to pass out. This is what's going to happen. I can honestly say thank you to Sky Horseman for not taking advantage and piling it on after and just rolling up Brew and having the man's safety in mind for at least some point in this. We can't drag on Sky too bad. Brew did step in the ring. Brew understands the danger that is happening right now. But when is enough, Marky? I think you hit it on the head there. When is enough? Step away for a little bit. Much like Boss. Boss needs to mentally get his head together. Brew needs to physically get his head together and make sure that this might be, maybe not the smartest point right now.
I completely agree. I think you're right. It's been compounding. It's been adding on each match. He came back fresh. And each week we've seen it get a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. And tonight was honestly as worse as we had seen it. But to Sky's credit, like you said, he didn't add the insult to the injury. He rolled him up and pinned him. And Sky going forward is going to be a big threat, especially where now he has POS on his side, which, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of at all. Maybe he can learn something different. Maybe tooling around with JK Pop and them in the back is going to help him maybe grow as a wrestler.
The job done,
That's the thing. POS and these guys have been getting the job done, and you can't knock it if they're getting the job done. And Sky tonight got the job done. He did. Now Sky's sitting back up because he did go back to 0 in the points when he gave up his Ignition title for the shot at Remy.
That's only fair.
Short. Right. He came up short. So now he's at 1. And unfortunately, Brew has fallen from 3 to 2. He's still up there in the discussion, but I think that discussion needs to be paused for a while, and Brew needs to seek some expert advice.
All right, so for those people who are on YouTube right now, you're watching a very, very good conversation between Jet and Bud Bellflower.
Is there such a thing?
No,
Is
Jet.
that an oxymoron?
No. Jet's just asking questions to Bud, and Bud's giving his opinions on stuff. One of them from Mr. Bud Bellflower, who you saw, and we will be talking about later on in the show. Where is it? That Skidmore is interesting. He doesn't scout traditionally, but he managed to find winners. Well, he manages to find winners. I think we can agree with that, unfortunately.
He does seem to align himself with successful people quite frequently.
I think he loopholed his way into that. I don't necessarily think that these people went and looked for him. I don't necessarily think that they just would like, oh, we need somebody that's going to figure this out. I think Preston showed up one day in a staff meeting or whatever and said the right words and got the things done. And we can go back and we could talk about the title shot that Mercury Yaden was supposed to get, but then Curtis Cole got weaseled into it, and then that went to Marty Casaus and all that stuff. I think that was an eye raiser to a lot of the guys in the back, and JK Pop were just the first guys to the front of the line to say, hey, would you come and help us do that thing? Even though they've already been doing that thing for a long, long time, manipulating the rules and kind of getting what they need by hook or by crook. I think POS adds an extra blanket on the bed of warmth to that situation, that comfort that JK Pop feel. And it's only natural for other people to see that and want to be there. I can't say I blame Sky Horseman at all for wanting to be there. I can't blame him. I don't like
Too
it.
bad for Lola. I think Lola's been tricked into thinking this is a good partnership.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
She just got a number one contender at Aces Wild. There is something. There's something there.
Yeah, but she has to deal with Caden.
But we saw last night, and you're right. Everything up until last night, I would agree with you. But even you made the point about how he stood up and fought for
That's
her.
true.
Last
and
night.
he was correct. And I agreed on
Right.
on our delayed recharge last night. I agreed with Caden Koyama, first time
Right.
ever. Miracles happen. That he is right. And Lola did kind of get screwed a little bit.
She did. But I think that even after all the times that she has completely rejected Koyama's advances, I think at this moment in time, he stood up on his own volition and fought for her and went to bat for her. That might have opened up a little bit of a twinkle in Lola's eye. You
Ooh,
never
maybe.
know. Because her facial expression, you just don't know. Because she didn't
true.
exactly say no.
It's true.
I don't know at this point. If
That no
somebody's
is starting to become less and less now.
Right. If she's already been kind of coerced into being like there, who knows what they're capable of doing? Who knows? We'll have to just keep watching and find out.
But it also goes, winners breed winners. I will say that managing that many people has its drawbacks for sure. I don't think he's
A lot
wrong
to
there
keep up
either.
with. No, it's a lot to keep up with. He knows that.
All right, well, speaking of Caden Koyama, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about him right now, as he went one-on-one with Briscoe Crown. Your starting lineup's trying to go 2-0 here tonight. What did you guys have on this?
Match was so good. So good between the two of these guys. Very evenly matched together. Size, shape, weight, everything very, very evenly matched amongst each other. Both of them extremely quick. You blink and you miss something out of the two of them. One has all the experience in the world, and the other one is gaining that experience night in and night out. So it's the case of rely on your old XP to know what to do, or to bring something new to the table that maybe this guy hasn't seen. And Briscoe does a real good job of keeping Caden on his heels for a little bit of a while. Then Caden takes it back. Briscoe takes it back. It was so very back and forth. It was fantastic. Fast start for both of them. Quick reversals, in and out, shots off the ropes. Koyama does get the first advantage out of it, though, on the outside, standing on the apron, pulls Briscoe's hair back, knocks him to the canvas, straight back, straight in front of ref Eli. I believe it was Eli who was the ref in this match. Straight in front of him. Eli starts yelling at him about it. Caden doesn't listen to any of that stuff. He did it, and they go, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, whatever. But anyway, takes that advantage, follows in with the shots, the patented Caden Koyama leg drop. It's just a gorgeous leg drop come off. It gets a near fall. Whips Briscoe into the ropes, follows Briscoe into the ropes for that beautiful knee into the gut. As Briscoe comes off, he flips and lands kind of a near fall, rather, some more knee drops. And then we see a power slam out of Koyama. We don't often see him pick guys up and give him a power slam, but he picked up Briscoe tonight, gave him a power slam. Briscoe fights his way up after the near fall, gets him in the headlock. But Koyama's too strong to stay in that headlock at this point because Briscoe's taking most of the punishment. Caden's still good and still fresh. Knocks Briscoe back into the ropes. Briscoe's kind of hanging over the second rope. We see that body attack. He likes to jump and dive onto him. Gets out. We get another near fall out of that. Koyama's running a lot of the offense now in the middle part. It was very back and forth. We're just kind of waiting for Briscoe to be able to come up and take that one advantage that brings it. Or is Caden going to bring this whole thing home? Briscoe does end up fighting his way up after a huge overhead suplex and then a tight chin lock from the back. With that, we've talked about it, with that knee in the back, so that you wrench that neck back even more, putting the back stationary, and that head just keeps coming back. Koyama has all the XP in the world and know how to make a basic move into like the advanced technique of how to almost get a submission out of something as simple as a rear chin lock. He's very, very good at that. You got to give him his flowers and praise on that. Koyama ends up eating a couple avalanches.
Let me
in the corner
interrupt
after
you
Briscoe.
for a quick second. I apologize.
No, we good. What's up?
Yeah,
Everything all right?
we have a subscription from Albuquerque Baby Girl for tier 1 for 25 months, and we also have a raid with a party of 7 from Barface 9000.
I love
That makes him chuckle.
Yeah, it makes him chuckle.
Love Twitch names. I love Twitch names. Barface.
Welcome,
9000.
everybody from Barface, and 7 of you.
Welcome everybody from Barface 9000. This is the Dudes and Belts Reignited post show here on the Rocky Mountain Pro Twitch channel. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop. With me tonight is Coastal Crusader on the left, Marky Pins on the right. We are from New England. We are currently doing a show for Rocky Mountain Pro, which is out in Colorado right now. We are live currently on Twitch and YouTube on Rocky Mountain Pro's YouTube channel. So if you are a fan of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, this is the channel where you want to go. And the YouTube channel specifically is where you want to go as well, because that's where you're going to catch all of the live shows and weekly episodic TV shows of Rocky Mountain Pro here. So it's going to be a good time if you're a wrestling fan. Join in on the fun. We have a very tight-knit community here, and we already have a new diver. Show me what you got. Well, we're currently doing a review show right now for Rocky Mountain Pro Ignition that just happened on youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. It's their weekly live interactive show. We are the post show here, and we are currently reviewing that here on Twitch and on YouTube as well. If you want to go check out the product, head over to youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro, because that's where all of the matches and live shows and weekly TV shows are currently. Let's see. And I thought you guys were streaming some live wrestling, just chilling, hanging out, talking some of the people involved in Rocky Mountain Pro. Yep, cheers. Hope your night is going well. Yeah, I live in Utah near Colorado. All right, so semi-local over there. Go check them out if you're ever in the area. We just got done with a big pay-per-view called Aces Wild, which was live on Fite TV. If you want to check out that pay-per-view, it is on Rocky Mountain Pro's Fite page. I believe it's $13, and once you buy the pay-per-view, you own it for life. And it's a pretty damn good show. We just did a review show as well that's also on the YouTube channel. With D'Lo Brown, legendary D'Lo Brown, was with us during that review show as well.
Continental champion of all time.
Yep,
That's right.
So we have special guests like that from time to time. Rocky Mountain Pro is slowly growing into one of the up and coming TV organizations in the Americas at the very least. If not, we're getting up there for the world, slowly but surely. So make sure you check them out on youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. Check out all the live action. And if you like what you see, go check out their pay-per-view catalog, all on Fite. Again, $13. Once you buy it, you own it for life. So give them a shout. And if you ever vacation over in Denver, Colorado, like we do from time to time, go check them out live in person. All right.
You will not be disappointed. They're good stuff out there. Good stuff.
All righty.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting. I had
no,
business, of course.
No, that was cool. I'm glad we got a raid. That's so pissa. Thank you, Barface. That's awesome, dude. I love Twitch names. All right. So anyway, yeah, Briscoe Crown and Caden Koyama are having like a fantastic 50-50 match here. And, you know, this is really big. You got one half of one of the hottest tag teams. You have one half of the tag team champions. This is very, very big, and Briscoe knows this. Briscoe won't stay down in this match. He keeps firing up. He keeps getting himself out of the corner. He does get Koyama. He gets a couple big avalanches in the corner. Koyama does manage to dodge the third one. Comes back in with a beautiful European uppercut. Catches Briscoe with that one. Then goes to come back in for his second one. Briscoe dodges that. And then bang, out of nowhere, hits that crowning achievement for the 1, 2, 3. And Briscoe Crown pins Caden Koyama, one half of the tag team champions. We've talked about this before, Coastal. When we have like singles matches involving tag team members, especially a champion, that immediately, and we saw this happen last night, there is turmoil in the tag team division in Rocky Mountain Pro right now. There is all kinds of uncertainty. Presidente himself is going to have something to say about it next week pretty soon. This is really the feather in the cap that could put your starting lineup to the forefront, is it not?
Hold up.
No.
Before, well, we're gonna try and add this into, yeah. So Johnny Casanova redeemed Coastal ASMR for 2 minutes. So why don't you give your feedback in ASMR? Because I know you don't want to save it.
Let me address Johnny in my ASMR.
He needs to sleep, by the way. That's what he said.
You need to sleep. Okay, hold on.
Johnny Casanova, I know you have to sleep, and I hope you're laying there thinking how terribly comfortable you are with that giant mask on your face, because you just can't breathe through your nose because somehow it collided with Balaam's knee, and now it just is swollen and stuffy, and I really, really feel bad for you. If you would have been there tonight, you would have seen a wonderful match wrestled by your brother, who really carries your tag team. You should take notes on what happened tonight, because even though he lost, he put up 10 or 20 times the fight you would have against a very game Briscoe Crown, who is exploding right now in the singles game and is going to lead your starting lineup to a match with you, Johnny. And not even that giant swollen nose of yours will be able to get in the way of them taking those tag titles at some point. I hope you sleep well, Johnny. Put your head on your pillow. Put that title belt underneath it, because pretty soon it's going to disappear.
Wow. That was pretty good.
That was damn good, sir. Damn good.
And there's your redemption for Coastal ASMR for 2 minutes. Which wasn't really 2 minutes, but we typically do that
Close enough.
we do it on the Sunday show. So
Yeah.
we gave you a special edition of that tonight. All right. Coastal, go right ahead.
Well, I kind of summed it up. It's a very game Johnny.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
As it always is when he.
Oh my God, Johnny, come on. That's weird. That's weird.
That is awkward. Very.
That's
awkward.
I mean, you did.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, for the people who just joined the community who rated, you're gonna see some RMP talent in chat, and yeah, they do like to bust out balls from time to time. So,
and we'll certainly get there in a little bit. No, this is I really think your starting lineup here cemented a shot in this giant turmoil that is the tag team division. I think this shows, hey, we just took out one half of them. I think we're next in line. I got to agree. Even while the Island was getting, their title shot, all your starting lineup kept doing was winning tag matches. To me, they are naturally next in line.
I agree that at this point in time, this is a statement. This is Briscoe Crown went up there representing your starting lineup, and Caden Koyama went out there representing JK Pop. And your starting lineup's representative beat JK Pop's representative. If that's not the feather in the cap that can absolutely put your starting lineup to the front of this absolute menagerie of who deserves the next title shot, I don't know who else has like a nickel in that bucket to be able to say. La Isla might have something to say about that, but at the same point in time, you put La Isla and your starting lineup now right at the front and deal with those two teams accordingly.
And the circus behind them, because they have been successful as well.
Yeah, they beat the
Sid Bodie
OGs.
terrifies me, so I have to say that they're there so he stays away.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the next matchup here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go.
We have Hazard going one-on-one with the Zamori, who has been on a tear lately. What are your thoughts on this one?
Zamore has been like the human freight train on Ignition. He has been on a wicked hot streak. Bud coming back. I don't know if it's rejuvenated something in him, but there's an obvious level of comfort and friendship that is between these two, and it's really helping Z. We see him, he doesn't wear the boots anymore. He just tapes his feet up now. He's got a better feel for the ring when he's in there. Tonight, though, he could have come out in t-shirt and jeans, to be completely honest, and a pair of Nikes. Hazard threw as much as he possibly could at him, but this was just absolutely absolute brawn versus speed. And speed wasn't quick enough here. Hazard gets a few kicks in, gets a couple shots, but Zamore really just absorbs all of it. A lot of body shots and a lot of forearms coming out of Zamore. The big splash, though, is kind of, I think, what kind of started doing it in for Hazard. When Z hits a big splash on you, that's a lot of man coming down at the speed of gravity. So Hazard took the big splash. But even still here in this moment, while Zamore is clearly on his way to victory in this match, Bud Bellflower takes a moment to take actions into his own hands and trips up Hazard right on the side of the ring, which Zamore almost ran into Ref Eli because Hazard broke up something. And Zamore goes in. They have a discussion in the side, Zamore and Eli. And while that's happening is when Bud took advantage when the ref's back was turned. That's not out of character for Bud. We almost expect something like that from Bud Bellflower, and it absolutely happened. And then Zamore comes back and locks in the last chancery for the win, and the match is over very, very quickly after this. Hazard notwithstanding, really going up against some of the real bigger fellas in RMP lately. But right now, I really want to talk about Zamore climbing the points list right now. This man is at 4 points. He has been a wrecking ball on Ignition. He is one match away. Coastal, do you see a future really soon where we see Zamore walking around with that brand new shiny yellow belt that says Ignition on it?
Honestly, yes, I do. And I think if you've noticed, he has slowed everything down. He now, as you say, no more boots. He has a feel for the ring, but everything is deliberate. Everything is calculated. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Bud Bellflower has Zamore focused. He started earlier last year. Now it has come full circle, and this is a very focused, very game, very aggressive animal that Zamore is, and he is going to dominate. I really feel he is going to be one of the two people that get to 5 points and is for that Ignition title. The fan in me cannot wait until we see a time when POS and Bud Bellflower are out there together. And that's a match I would love to see, RMP. I'd love to see Bud versus POS.
Who can out-cheat the other one?
No, a wrestling match. I'd love to see it. Wouldn't it be fun?
Oh, an actual wrestling match.
Oh, yeah. Actual wrestling match.
I'd
Bud
pay
versus
for that ticket.
POS.
I'd buy your ticket to that. I'll pay that ticket. I'll buy Triple I's ticket to that, just so Triple I can watch it.
Bud is claiming that Hazard just slipped. That's all
Yeah.
it was.
Well, rosin, slipping, accidents.
Green mist and a rubber. Who knows? Like, things happen, and we just move on. Nice try, Bud. We saw it.
Bud doesn't seem very game in YouTube chat about that match.
Where am I here?
Hey, at least he graduated to a regular tie and a suit, not short sleeves and sweater vests and a bow tie.
No, he looks very proper.
He done grown up.
Nice.
I'm proud. He done grown up.
Jeez. Okay.
He got his man hairs. Good man.
All right. Next matchup here. Surprisingly, a very good matchup here. I don't know about you guys, but Sergey definitely overperformed in my eyes here. Sergey versus Atiba. What'd you have on Muffin Time?
This was Muffin Time, and we had no idea how muffin the time was going to be when this match started. I typed it in
Blueberry muffin time.
Yo, with extra sugar on the top, and you toasted it with some butter, so it was like the perfect muffin. It was so close to the ultimate perfect muffin tonight for Sergey. Sergey figured it out.
He learned to putt.
He figured it out. He knocked himself in the head. Well, first, all right, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Very good match in the beginning. Sergey kind of gets a little trampled here, but then Atiba makes a mess of it by bringing the ruckus with the chops, which is solid. but then he gives him that last chop directly between the eyes. And that knocks Sergey, like wakes him up. And then Sergey shows up, and it is just muffin time, man. We're talking about a Beal all the way across the ring.
Muffin button.
Tight. Yeah.
The
He
muffin
pushed
button.
It's the muffin button.
There you
It is
go.
the muffin button.
Muffin button.
Hashtag muffin button. You never know what you're going to hear on Dudes and Belts.
That came from Hazard, by the way.
Was that from Hazard?
On YouTube.
On YouTube? Yep. I'm watching the Twitch. I didn't see that. But yeah, no, huge Beal across the ring. Beautiful armbar, standing armbar with the T-bar in like a prone position. And then stands and just wrenches and like kind of jumps on the arm 3 or 4 times. I mean, and it's real like a big shoulder tackle off the rope, and he whips him. And it's fantastic. Atiba does manage to get himself in there for a jawbreaker for a little bit of space. And that pushes the muffin button again. And then Sleepy Sergey shows up and he tags in Ref Benny. And then went over and started checking Atiba like he was the referee real quick, which was, I mean, as a referee, I can appreciate that when the Superstar shows concern for the other one, but not in the middle of the match. You don't want to do that too well. Sergey, at this moment, this is when he figures it out. He gets knocked out to the outside. Atiba puts the boots to him, knocks him to the outside. Sergey takes a walk over to the timekeeper's table, picks up the bell, and you can hear it echo throughout the Wimmer. He absolutely gongs himself in the head with the bell. He pushed his own muffin button. He knows that there is a muffin button. He knows it. He knows he has this button, and all he has to do is hit himself in the head with the ring bell. Look, maybe he could find an easier way to do it, but it was successful anyway. It worked.
Can we get him like a Nerf bat? Like a Nerf bat, I think would be very beneficial.
Mario Vanger. I'm sure Vanger was watching this, and I'm sure Vanger is going to come up with a couple other ideas to help him ring the muffin button whenever he absolutely has to. But no, he gets up, and he comes back in as a house of fire. Huge suplex, big backdrop. Atiba almost hit the lights up in the top, and then gives Atiba a taste of his own medicine with a huge flapjack. He flapjacked Atiba. You could tell Atiba, though, as he hit the mat, though, yeah, he was out. Yeah, he was in pain, but you could tell that ticked him off. His face changed. After the near fall, he got up. But then Sergey put him back down with a huge power slam. And then Atiba just got right back up again. Shoots Sergey into the corner, manages to reverse a whip, and Sergey's head goes clean into the turnbuckle. Ding the muffin button again. And then a spinning flapjack out of the corner from Atiba, which is cool. We don't usually see the spinning flapjack. But he hits Sergey with a spinning flapjack and gets the win. This match was so back and forth. Sergey showing so much promise. And he's showing that he's paying attention to he's watching old film. He realizes there's a button. He realizes that other people know that there's a button. But now he learned how to push his own button. Coastal, Atiba gets the win. But to me, the story out of this is Sergey starting to figure it out here.
Yeah, no, Sergey is starting to have some unique strategies. Like I said, maybe he needs like a Nerf bat or maybe like a replica Jim Cornette tennis racket he could just whack himself in the head with. Maybe a pickleball paddle, who knows? Something that Sergey could safely push his own muffin button with here. What surprised me here is Atiba picking up a relatively clean win. Something we haven't seen in quite a while. Usually it's a kick to the nether regions, or as he likes to say, he nuts up. But this one, he got a clean win. Congratulations, Atiba. You're very game, Sergey, and you came out on top. Can we see more of this? Maybe you just needed someone to use a move that you use against you to piss you off enough that you decide to play it straight, and look, you won. Maybe go talk to Bruce and see how it happened.
It was amazing to see. First of all, for Atiba to, for the first time in a while, not counting the Aces Wild match because that was a very different athletic competition. Right. That was a pure.
He still went. He still tried to kick the.
But he still went for that, right? But every other time we've seen him go to the low blow or go to a thumb in the eye or do any of that, there was very little of that. There was none of that. We almost saw old Atiba, which he had some cool new ring gear tonight. He had new pink tights and a new headband and stuff. So, but he's got the new gear. And we saw a little bit more of the old school Atiba, and look what happened. You got a pure win. You got a good win against the guy that figured his own weakness out, found a way to counteract it, and then you found a way to still beat him. Kudos to Atiba, like legit. kudos to Atiba here, but I think Sergey going forward is going to be the bigger story.
see?
I think this.
See, we are, contrary to what people believe, and we'll get into this in a minute, we do give people their flowers when they earn them. It's called earning them.
Yeah, we're about 10 or 15 minutes away from there. Maybe less.
Maybe less. This
All
next
right.
match was fairly quick.
Next matchup, Mick Diamond, the rookie, going up against Kendrick LaRoe. And ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup goes 3-0 tonight on Ignition.
Yes, they do. They have been hot over the last, I'd say, month, even 2. They've been very, very good.
That's adding a Batu.
And that's right. That's adding a Batu, and they're teaching a Batu how to get. Maybe it's something with the confidence among them, watching a Batu grow as a member of your starting lineup, and not this like undead demon that used to be in the Legion and all that. Maybe it's a little bit of that confidence, seeing that they're doing something right over here, and it's translating into success in the 18x18, because it is translating to success. Kendrick LaRoe tonight. Mick Diamond is really game. He's got a good look. I love his jacket, man. The King of Diamonds on the back. I love that jacket. It's really cool. Mick's having a hard time. He's a new guy coming up, but he's wrestling some good matches. Unfortunately, though, welcome to Rocky Mountain Pro, bro. You make it on TV, and you are going to face the biggest and the baddest until you get somewhere. And we've seen him go against Damon Ace. Today, it's Kendrick LaRoe. And Kendrick has been making many, many waves, finding himself, finally fitting into that 6'7", 300-pound frame of his, learning the power moves. It's not all about the Superdome. It's not all about just the big clotheslines and things. He's using his whole body, his whole everything, all of his mass as a weapon more often than he's not. And it's translating into a lot of success. Kendrick LaRoe starts the match off, just like I said, with the power. Tossing Mick Diamond around the ring, gives him 3 huge beals from corner to corner. The kid flew 10, 15 feet in each direction. But Mick ends up dodging a nice corner run. Kendrick tried to come in with a big splash. Didn't work. Couple drop kicks and a few punches in the corner. Kendrick's not having that, though, afterwards. And there was a little bit of like post-traumatic stress that I dealt with watching the next 30 seconds, because Kendrick laid into Mick's chest with those catches mitt hands that he has into some of the loudest chops we've heard in the Wimmer in 2023. I'm sure Mick's chest is a little bit redder for the wear right now. And then ends up getting him up into the middle, drops him down. That big, beautiful standing senton. That's another move, like we were talking about, using your mass. He coils, and then he springs out into this like beautiful senton, and it's just splatting guys down. Picks him up, whips him, the big old boot to the face, and Kendrick LaRoe gets a dub. YSL, your starting lineup, gets the 3-0 tonight. Briscoe, Abatu, Kendrick LaRoe getting wins. Coastal, this is huge for the young men. One of them beat the tag team champion. Kendrick LaRoe looking solid. Mick Diamond threw a big effort into this, but it was just not enough against Kendrick LaRoe. Where is your starting lineup in like a month from now, guy, if this thing keeps going like this?
They got to be in the tag team title picture easily.
Yep.
At this point, they have nothing but success. And you got to think, if Abatu keeps winning, he's going to wind himself up in maybe that other spot across from Zamore in that Ignition Championship. And what a hoss fight that would be for a belt. Your starting lineup could be draped in gold by the end of 2023. It is possible with the role that they're on now. I know it is very premature, but that is just, you asked where they could be. That is a very possible destination. With Mick Diamond, I got to say, but this is pretty much standard operating procedure at this point. When you're a young guy, the talent level is so deep in this company right now that you are going to get somebody that is TV ready no matter what day you show up on. And they're going to be big and they're going to be bad. And you have seen guys do it. Kendrick, Remy, Noel, David Drake the year before, Owen Easton. You know how you get better? Get your ass whooped. You learn a lot more from losing than you do winning. That is a Coastal Crusader thought. You always win a lot more losing. You always learn a lot more losing. And right now, Mick Diamond, it's a tough road, but if you weather it, you're going to see the same kind of success that Kendrick and Briscoe and Remy and these guys have had coming from the same place you came from, the Al Snow Wrestling Academy. take your lumps and learn from them like they did.
I agree. I think the kid's got some promise. He's good.
Mhm.
We've seen him go. We see him. He's quick. A few times he rolled away from Kendrick, kept his space. But once Kendrick got in and just alleviated that space and got, Mick in his sights, Kendrick's just too big. Just too big at that moment in time to fight out. Now, I would have suggested maybe to Mick work on his legs, take his legs out. Take the big man. We see it all the time. Little guy versus big guy. I'm not a big guy. I'm a small guy. I'm like 5'8", 5'9". If I'm in a fight against a dude 6'3", 6'4", I'm not going to try to punch him in the face.
You've been there, and you did try that.
And it didn't work too good, did it? I got thrown out of the Colorado Cup all the way back to Boston, for God's sakes, where we don't say Oz, Cole. But at the same time, work the guy's legs, work his knee, take his ankle out. How about a couple ankle locks so he can't walk? Can't big old boot you in the face if you can't walk. I think Mick is learning this. I think as he goes, I think it's only his third match, maybe fourth match on Ignition. He's learning. He's going up against these big guys. And you're right, Coastal. We do, and we don't learn this until much, much later. We learn far more from losing than we ever do from winning. And I got a funny feeling Mick's going to take this one of these days, and he's just going to take it and turn it into a big winning streak. And we may see him at the top of the Ignition leaderboard pretty soon.
All right. You guys all set with that match?
Yes.
All right. Main event time.
We're here.
Yeah. We made it.
All right. Guys, got to remember there was a match attached to this. So why don't we do the match first? Talk about the match, because it's our job.
Yes.
And then we'll lead to comments after the fact. Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
Curtis Cole comes out, and after a 5-minute verbal diarrhea session,
which we'll get to,
we find out that Echo is his opponent tonight, and I am extremely happy. I'm extremely happy about this. This is two guys that know each other fairly well, have gone before. We've watched them go. They can both go. They put on a great match. Whoever wins or whoever loses, we'll watch it and we get there, but we know we're about to see a fantastic match. And we did. We absolutely did. It took Cole a few minutes to get in the ring. He tried to play the mind games with Echo. I don't think that's going to work too well. Echo, if you know Echo, we talk to him quite a bit here. He's very clear-minded. He's very at peace, like with himself more often than not. So it's going to take a lot to rile him up, and walking around the ring and standing up on the top turnbuckle posing and gyrating your junk in the referee's face. That's not going to rattle Echo. It's absolutely not. It's only going to make people tell you to take a shower more often than you absolutely do. But at this point, Echo finally does get a hold of Curtis Cole, and he locks in a cravat. Now, we saw, a couple weeks ago now, Echo took a headlock, I believe, on Derek Stone or Lord Mitchell Taylor in one match, and he didn't let it go for like 8 minutes. He does something very, very similar to Curtis Cole tonight. And you know what? I think it's very sound. You take a strategy that even these veterans like Cole and Stone and these guys, they've probably never started a match by getting locked in a headlock or a cravat for 5-6 minutes. So you're instantly throwing them off of their game and instantly making them fight from behind. But meanwhile, the whole time they're using energy. You're wearing their neck down and their upper back, their lower back too, because you constantly have them bent over. You're working the neck and back the entire time that they're just trying to get out so they can even breathe. It takes a while for Cole to finally get out. Echo ends up rolling him up twice for a couple near falls. And Cole has to use a ton of energy to get out of this cravat. It had to have been a 3 or a 4 minute cravat. I give Echo all the kudos in the world for changing up his offense and making everybody else have no idea what they're about to face. Because to be honest, more often than not, they have no idea what they're about to walk into with Echo. That's the whole thing. He's the damn Mockingbird, and you're not. So you're going to have to deal with this. Cole eventually does fight his way out and ends up going right after Echo's arm and shoulder. Whole lot of shots to the shoulder, punches, shoulder blocks, short arm shoulders, bringing him in like that. Cole ends up getting him outside of the ring, wears him down on the outside, places him up on those oil barrels like the barricades that are out there, and locks in the big arm bar, yanks the arm, gets him back up to the top, yanks his arm over the top rope. Everything about Echo's left arm is like junk right now. Echo gets a point where he's trying to whip Cole off with his left arm, and he can't even whip Curtis Cole off the rope because that left shoulder is just tremendous amounts of pain. Curtis sees this, recognizes that he has a distinct advantage right now. Echo's working with 3 limbs. So he knocks Echo down and then does something actually semi-entertaining that I didn't know was coming. He takes the camera away from the cameraman on the outside, sets it down in the ring, and locks in a devastating armbar, like a leg lace armbar, with his foot in the other shoulder, and Echo's face is right in the camera, so all we can see is the pain on Echo's face. I never thought he would have done anything with the camera like that, but we end up knowing why, because he just wanted everybody to see how much Echo was hurting right here. Echo is in a bad way. He does end up getting a quick little flurry out of it, but he can't get up and hit that sliced bread. Curtis Cole blocks it, lays him back in the chicken wing. And Echo ends up getting his way out of that one. Locks on, gets him off the ropes, hits the damn contra code, that big leg drop, that big leg lariat that he likes to hit. Echo kicks out with one arm. Finally, Cole can't take this no more. He's not dealing with this no more. He gets Echo in the corner, rolls him back into the chicken wing. Again, Echo is this close to the ropes, being able to grab the ropes and get the break. Cole does the smart thing, pulls him back, and gets the win. So we haven't talked about all the trash that Curtis talked. Curtis talked a lot of trash about this match, about all of this, other people, us, but ended up winning the match and walked out of there like he owned the place. Speaking of that, he actually yelled at the guy who owned the place, told him to get the hell out of here, had a few choice words. The match itself was fantastic. All right, Coach, I'm going to throw it to you about the match real quick. Just the match. Echo and Cole. The wrestling, you watch it, you know it's going to be supreme. Tell me what you would have expected when you saw it. Is this exactly what you would have expected? A good back and forth match?
100%. 100%. This is what I would have expected. 2 guys that are cornerstones of this company that have been here, and they put on great matches every time they get in the ring, and this is exactly what I expected. A sound technical match against 2 guys at the top of their game. I wish the outcome had been different, honestly, from a fan's perspective. But from a, as I've called myself, an unbiased journalist, this is what I want to see out of Curtis Cole when he steps in the ring. I apologize for using his name. I know I'm supposed to keep it out of his mouth.
No, use it as many times.
Oh, no. I have a better one for him, and we'll get there. But this is what I want to see. I don't want to see what we saw before, the verbal diarrhea and everything coming out of his mouth, the gyrations, the just BS that doesn't need to happen. If he wrestled like this all the time, he would win more.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He does win tonight against a wicked game Echo. Echo threw everything he could at him.
All right. So I will remind you, gentlemen, that we are going to be, that we are currently live on YouTube. So obviously what you say needs to be thought of before it comes out of your mouth. And, of course, minimum swearing as humanly possible. Please and thank you.
We don't have to swear.
But,
I don't need to cuss.
But,
we don't.
Just a disclaimer.
No, I'm not going to.
I might swear once.
I'm not going to cuss, and I don't need to. I'm not going to lower myself, and I'm going to keep my name out of his mouth, so I'm just going to call him Karen. Karen gets in the ring and starts verbal diarrhea everywhere. And let's not talk about his looks because he doesn't like that. So what we'll talk about is his attitude. He acts like a child who didn't get his way in Walmart and is laying in the middle of the floor kicking and screaming. My 4-year-old has more class than Karen Curtis Cole had this evening. If he wants to, you know what? I am so happy, Curtis. I live rent-free in your head 2,000 miles away. Some person that you say only has 15 people that listens to them, I live rent-free in your brain. And I'll tell you what, it's very roomy in there.
And technically,
very roomy.
Technically right now, the 15 subscribers that he was talking about earlier. We currently have 31 live viewers on both platforms
Yeah, so,
currently right now. We doubled that already just by watching.
Yeah, he's not good at math, and that shows. I guess my thing is, Curtis, unfortunately, I am very, very far away. I welcome you anytime you want to come on the show and speak to me directly. I welcome you to come on and talk with me. We can have a discussion like two grown men, not like a 4-year-old laying in the middle of the floor of Walmart having a temper tantrum because things aren't going your way before your match. I would like to say I can sympathize with you, but you're like the woman with the honey-baked ham under her arm walking around the village of hungry people screaming she ain't got no bread. You have no idea the talent you have, and you're wasting it by being a spoiled, rotten Veruca Salt clone. Marky, you're up.
Ooh, nice drop right there. Veruca Salt, that's pretty accurate.
That was clean.
Look, you know, we've had our say of things, and we react. We don't act, we react to exactly what happens in the ring. Tonight, when Curtis Cole walked in the ring, all I could think about is Curtis Cole is what happens when you order Tyler Rex off of Wish. All right? At this point in time, anything that this guy says is nothing more than just garbage spewed over into people that aren't even listening to you. Okay? You have a problem with us critiquing you and talking about your garbage that you put into the ring. You have a problem with Brumac because he's having issues, and then you take a mint out of your pants and you chuck it at Lucas. Look, dude, that mint was the biggest thing in your trunks the entire time that you were even outside there while we were watching you wrestle. Curtis Cole, you are an absolute POS, and I hope that you start losing drastically because right now it is all you deserve. There is no more of this, well, maybe it's not so because he's a great wrestler. Curtis, you stepped out of line. You stepped out of line. We tried to do the thing, and you wanted to step out of line. You know we can't just come out to Denver and say something to your face. So why don't you meet us in the middle? Why don't you come on the show one Sunday night when we do our Dudes and Belts Chatcast? And why don't you come on here and we can air out these grievances face to face? Yes, you won the match, but you smelled like an absolute steaming pile of dogs while you were doing it the entire time. And that breath mint wasn't going to help nobody because nobody can get over that gigantic pile of crap that is Curtis Cole.
Yeah, come on the show, bring all your friends. We have plenty of room for nobody. And they can hang out with you while you spew more garbage, or we figure out and get to the bottom of your insecurities. Because right now, from what I've seen, this is stemming. You were upset that Dak Draper sat in a chair on Charge this week. A chair. Dude, get over yourself. Get over yourself. You have so much you could offer to the younger generation in Rocky Mountain Pro. You and Dak and Yaden, and you could pass on so much knowledge and talent because you have it in bunches, but you just have to throw hissy fit after hissy fit after hissy fit and overshadow your talent. Shut up and wrestle. Shut up and wrestle.
I'd like to point out one final thing, and then I'm done with this peck ahead. All right?
I guarantee you won't be done with this peck ahead because you will respond.
For tonight,
yes,
I will be done with this peck ahead. All right? 2 things. Number 1, you made fun of my name because I put an H in it. That's my thing. It's Boston. I got a better accent than you. Deal with it. Number 2, you have a problem with people messing with you and critiquing your body and your image and all that stuff. 3 seconds later, you call Lucas Bradwell a skinny idiot, and then you make fun of Brumac because he's having health issues. Bro, literally look in Webster's dictionary. You are the definition of an absolute, complete, and utter hypocrite.
Hi, Pot. Have you met Kettle?
Done. Done with this guy. Done with this guy.
Give it a couple seconds to make sure there isn't anything else that comes out of their mouths.
Done with this guy.
Good.
Nothing else needs to come up.
You want to do the thing? We can do the thing. That's fine. We'll do the thing. You want to go out there and be a hypocrite about the thing? We're going to get you. We can't get you in the ring. We can get you here.
Acting like you didn't get an Oompa Loompa. If it's that important to, I'll go put suspenders on and sing a song about it.
All right.
Breath mint in the dick. Who puts a breath mint in the dick? Really? You stink that bad? You smell that bad, Curtis?
See, I knew it was going to happen.
Dude, Curtis Cole makes right guard turn left, man. He's the guy that made right guard turn left. He's the guy that started that joke in like the late 80s when we were kids. Lucas, you ready to do the thing, dude? You ready to do
Unfortunately,
the thing?
Lucas has to be there with the biggest walking, talking ego in the building.
You all set now?
I wish. Oh, yes.
You good?
Yes.
My turn
Yeah.
now?
Done.
Okay.
Go ahead. Have fun.
Take us home, Johnny.
First off, how do you not know my name since I'm the host of Dudes and Belts, first off?
That's
First off.
true.
First off.
That's very disrespectful.
Second of all,
Oh, and by the way, Curtis, thank you for the free advertising. You want us to give
I
it?
said that earlier,
Next
yeah.
time you want to, yeah, you want to drop in the times of the shows next time. Make yourself useful.
all right. For all you that have been watching this show since the beginning, you know how we are. You know how we approach every show. We do it in a professional manner as much as possible. We do have a lot of fun on the side, clearly. We've done some ASMR already tonight. You know, we're very open to having fun with our community and our fans out there. But there is one thing that we don't take lightly, and it's people like Curtis Cole. Now, we've had issues with certain people in the past. We've gone out there and we've settled our issues face to face. We're not your
Each time.
we're not your typical talk show. We're not your typical podcast. When we get called out, we fire back. We get challenged, we accept. We always do it. We always show up, but we always stand up for what we believe in. Marky has done it before. I have done it myself. And I will do it again. As I always do. I will defend the pride of this show, and I will defend these dudes as much as I humanly can, because I know for a fact that these two guys, as well as the other two, which apparently you don't know the name of, which you should by now, but
Fully capable of taking care of myself.
but we all fight for what we believe in. We all stand up for the greater good, and Curtis Cole right now is now on apparently our radar. So what I am going to do right now as the host of this show, and these two kind of alluded it, and they actually kind of want this to happen, and I know Lucas has his own thing out there in Denver, which, by the way, speaking of Denver, Curtis, you know I will be out there a couple times a year. You know you will be seeing me, and if you really want to, you will be the first person who I see face-to-face, if that's what you want. If you have a problem with how we run the show here, you can take it up with me.
Is he here? Is he in the YouTube?
No,
Is he on YouTube?
no.
He's not.
That figures. That figures.
No.
That figures.
He has a problem with how we do business over here. He has a problem with how we back up Rocky Mountain Pro and became partners with Rocky Mountain Pro and have really developed into this huge partnership between the two brands and have been doing good ever since. If he has a problem with how we're doing shit here, and I know I swore, but I get one also, then you can take it up with me, because you know you'll be seeing me a couple times this year. And I'll make it a point to speak with you. However, these two alluded it before. I think they want this to happen. Don't know if it'll be a Sunday or not. But as the host of this fine show, I will be offering an invitation right here, right now, to one Curtis Cole. If you choose to hash out your differences and want to come out on this show, we really shouldn't, by the way that you've been treating us and the disrespect that we've been getting over the past few weeks. However, we're all men here. And since we are 2,000 miles away, you guys are right. We can't be there every week. We can't be there every day. You got something to say? Open invitation. And I'm allowing it. You can even pick your day and time. because we all know everybody's got a busy schedule. If you want to hash this out, pick the time and place. We'll be there. Will you? Only time will tell.
We'll be here. We're always here. We'll be ready.
And apparently, you know, Marky and I are closer than 2,000 miles. We live
And
in
you
his
know
brain.
what? We're going to one up this. There's somebody else that we've kind of taken in as an honorary dude. If and when this happens, which the ball's in Curtis Cole's court, we will have Lucas Bradwell on with us as well, because he is an honorary dude, and I stand up for my dudes, and he's no exception.
I think that's proper. I like that, dude.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah.
Hey, if we are his gripes, come. You know what? It's not festive season. Come air your grievances.
Let us hear it. Give us what you got.
Get it all out there, bud.
So, ball's in your court, sir. You let us know what you want to do. You accept it? We'll be here waiting. You don't? Or you think we're not worth your time? Kind of speak volumes right there, don't it?
Uh-huh.
So, there it is,
You
folks.
yelled at us. He wanted us to say it to his face. We can't necessarily. We can all join each other here, and that's as close to face as we're all going to get. And you can sit behind your little keyboard. You can sit behind your little camera. You can hide there. You can do whatever you got to do to make yourself feel good. All we want you to do is come here. Say
If
what
you
you
need
said
your
again.
emotional support, Preston, bring him.
Your emotional support, Preston.
He's a Preston guy,
Well,
too?
that's-
I didn't know that.
Well, that's what happened when he screwed Yaden.
Ah,
He reached
true.
out and
True.
That's very true. Yes.
and you know what? And you can even bring your popcorn. We know how you like it. Extra salty.
Extra salty.
So, if you want to clip this one, at least I know that this clip will be out there. I don't know about the
Please
the
clip.
other clips that's been going on right now, because I have control of all the content on here, so I would kind of know what got clipped and what didn't. But
Everyone, do us a favor. If you follow Curtis Cole on his, his socials, clip it, send it to him. Cut out the middleman.
make my life a lot easier too, because I gotta get up for work in a little while.
He's so interested. You know what? At least you know what? He's watching it. If he watches it a whole bunch of times, you know what? Watch it on repeat, bud. Keep getting our numbers up.
We have a gifted tier 1 sub from Just Your Average Gen 2 Lady Catherine Faye Queen.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. All right, I think that concludes everything. We also, before we wrap everything up, of course, we want to shed some light on next week's schedule. This schedule was supposed to happen on Tuesday, but some things happened that was out of our control, and we kind of postponed most of the schedule, half the schedule, to next week. So starting next Tuesday, Charge will have a new airtime of 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and right after Charge, you will get the Dudes and Belts Recharge post. Dudes and Belts Recharge post show here on Twitch and YouTube as well at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And just like tonight, this schedule will stay the same. Ignition 6:15 Mountain Standard Time, and the Dudes and Belts will go live right at 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time, plus or minus 5 minutes, depending on technical stuff that we have to do. But other than that, that's all I got, because there's no live shows this weekend. And I don't know if I'm even going to be streaming on Twitch this weekend, so that's up in the air. Other than that, that's about it. That's all I got. You guys got anything? Oh, let's shed some light on this point standings update that we haven't done yet.
Yes.
Oh
let's
wait,
run
just
down-
real quick. In chat, You spelt Karen wrong, Jet. Again, your spelling is terrible. Karen Curtis Cole.
Oh, killer.
Oh, what did he say? Yeah, see,
He said killer.
he can't spell. He's having a hard time up there. It's really cold in Canada right now. It's making his brain. He can't spell. It's a mess right now. Okay, so we're gonna run down these ignition points here real quick.
Top 10.
Right now, our ignition champion is vacant at the moment. There is no ignition
And
champion.
that guy's got a lot of title reigns.
I'm telling you, all over the place. Vacant should be a Hall of Famer at this point in all of professional wrestling. Right now, we have 3 superstars tied at 4 points. Brad Radowski, Balaam Lynx, and Zamore himself tonight with that win over Hazard got his 4 points. Bruce Waynes was at 4. He lost. Now he's at 3. Briscoe Crown got a win. He's up to 3. Brew with his losses down to 2 rather, excuse me. And then there's a big log jam at 1 point. Sky Hossman, Kendrick LaRoe, Atiba, Abatu, Damon Ace has a point. Ray Leon has a point. Angel Del Paz, Niles Plonk, Derek Stone has a point. So basically everything is still very, very tight. There's a top 3 at the top of the ladder that have 4, 1 win away. We were talking about Zamore on the roll he's been on. It only seems like it's a matter of time before that man ends up putting himself in a title match. Balaam Lynx being at 4 points is a huge thing. He's always a threat in any match that he's in. Bruce Waynes, Briscoe, Brew, I'm telling you, there's still a hell of a crop underneath the 4-pointers right now that can get it done. Every week on Ignition is fire. Every single match means something. It's not just go out there and have a match. There's no such thing as a throwaway match on Ignition. Everything means so much. That's why I got to agree with Derek Stone. He's calling Ignition the A show. And I'm telling you right now, it is keeping pace and is keeping the energy up just like Charged is. If you're not watching Ignition on Thursday nights, what are you doing?
Right.
It is heating up in this frozen cold winter that we're all living through right now. Ignition is a source of fire.
All right. YouTube Zamori is in a class of his own. I'm real proud of his progress.
Is that Bud?
You should,
Yep.
Bud. And you know what? Kudos
Should
to
be.
Bud for unlocking that in Zamore and giving him guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Bud. You're like 1 for 6. Way to go.
All right.
I mean, it's true.
We're going to have to let YouTube go tonight while we get ready to raid on Twitch. So YouTube, again, thank you so much for watching. We greatly appreciate you guys watching as always. Again, if you don't mind, hit that like button and leave a comment at the bottom of this video. Let us know how we did and let us know how Ignition was as well. And who do you think is going to be the next Ignition champion? Post it down in the comments below after this video. I'm curious to see who you guys are rooting for to win this Ignition title. Also, I think I had something and then I went brain dead for a second and now I lost it. So I'll bring it up on Sunday or something like that. Also, guys, this Sunday for the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast, again, Twitch and YouTube will be live for that. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are kicking it back 2 years in time, and we are going to be doing a Dudes and Belts Top 10 list that was granted to us by a random who decided to award himself or somebody 500,000 channel points to claim the Top 10 list, which we have, and there's a reason why we put it very high. Which I think we're going to move it up to 1 million after next week.
I wanted it to be 1 million. When we were doing it, I said 1 million, and you were like, no, we can't do it. It doesn't go that high.
I didn't think anybody was going to have 500,000.
But you got to
Rocky
make
Mountain Pro,
sure,
yeah.
bro. Like, you got to make sure. If we should have done it 999,999. Like 999,999. But either way, we're doing a top 10. Biggest upsets.
Yes.
In professional wrestling history. It's a
Get it.
very unique topic. Of all the top
Discuss.
10s we ever did, this is one of the few. I remember towards the end, we were having a hard time kind of coming up with topics and things. This is a very unique topic, Coastal. I think we'll actually get through. You think we'll get through this without any kind of bodily harm between the dudes? You think we'll be all right?
Oh no, you gotta come watch me
Probably
at Sunday
not.
Fight.
That's true. Probably not. That's right. I got to wear my stripes and everything Sunday night. I'll be in my stripes on Sunday, just making
He
sure.
just he hasn't understood yet why, sometimes his opinions are just opinions and they're not right.
And
Sometimes
both
my opinions are right.
and both YouTube and Twitch, both chats are going to be heavily involved in this as well. So make sure you tune in and be a part of the conversation, because you guys are going to vote the actual picks in this top 10. We're going to do it the exact same way that we did 2 years ago, which is we'll give our nominations per spot or whatever. And then you guys, out of those nominations, will be picking that one spot that will officially go in the 10 spot, 9 spot, 8 spot, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys are going to be heavily involved this Sunday night. And we ask you to please take it easy on us, because our very last top 10 that we did started
It's a top 20.
Oh yeah, it was a top 20, because that was gonna be our last top 10.
There's a reason why the dudes in belts stopped doing top 10s.
Yes.
There's a reason.
It's so we can still be friends.
That's right. That's right.
Number 1,
Oh,
Goldberg, go Dogs.
you know what? You're right. It's when he got cattle prodded. That'll be on
That's
my
right. That'll be on my list.
Starcade 98.
All right. I'm warning you guys, I'll be very critical of your list. Well,
That's fine. That's good.
that's fine, but it's up to you guys, honestly, at the end of it. We just nominate our lists. That's it. You guys pick the final spot, so technically it's not
Sometimes things
completely
make
on
lists
us,
and
but it's
sometimes they don't,
it's
like
half
The Rock.
on you guys as well. So to take a little bit out of I's
All
little
on you.
catchphrase, yeah. All right, YouTube, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys for watching. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell so you don't miss any live Dudes and Belts show or live Rocky Mountain Pro content every week. Yes, that's the logo. And
I got a jersey.
yeah,
But we never talk about that match ever.
other than that,
What?
He's talking about Goldberg Taker and Saudi.
oh no.
That is that which shall not be mentioned again.
Ever.
We have been told at Rocky Mountain Pro there is one that he shall never be mentioned. That is the one that shall never be mentioned here. We're not talking.
All right, we need to wrap this up for YouTube. Guys, hit that like button, leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. As always, for myself, Johnny Deathdrop, where's my mouse? For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coastal Crusader, and Marky Pins, we will see you guys on Sunday night for another episode of the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast here on Twitch and YouTube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.